you ready?
Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, and Scott Robbins.
We just become best friends. Yep.
Making sense of it all.
Now I get it.
And having some fun.
Lighten up, Francis.
This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. I'm Jamie Markley. That's David Van Camp. Scott Robbins is home resting. He had his surgery on Tuesday. Went well.
Yep.
So he's home now. David Van Camp will be throwing up, but he'll be turning the mic off as he does it.
Yeah, I'll try to make sure I'm not spewing chunks all over the microphone today. Yeah, it's back to school time, and that means I'm going to be sick every other week. That's just kind of how it works.
Oh, I thought you were sick to your stomach because of Jimmy Kimmel.
No, Jimmy Kimmel. Oh, he's been indefinitely suspended now after making a joke or saying that MAGA person was behind the assassination of Charlie Kirk. He said that, I believe, Monday night when he should have known better.
Oh, my gosh. We already knew at that time.
Yeah.
What he said at the time was...
We had some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All the evidence available at that time
Yeah.
contradicts what he just said.
Yes. Well,
Etch the bullets with anti-fascist messages, references to transgender furry culture.
yes.
I mean, not only that, relationship with a male partner,
Yes.
identifying as female. His own family telling authorities he had become very political in recent years. Over to the left is what his mom said. On and on and on. Yeah, they're trying to do everything possible. He's misleading the audience.
And then scoring political points. No, I mean, in terms of political points, I mean, I guess if you want to play that cynical game, sure, the right got some political points out of this, but one of ours was murdered, man. Like, talking about it and saying, hey, that's bad is not just a political statement. It's not trying to scoreboard anybody. It's like, no, this is what we've been fearing for a long time. This is what has been a reality in American culture right now, especially on the far left, is that when they say we have to stop MAGA people by any means possible, well, people hear that and think, by any means possible.
Right. And as I watched that and saw the clip, I'm like, a guy, he lies to his audience all the time. And in my mind, I was thinking just like ABC News, Good Morning America. We pointed out often. And it was interesting today to watch. First to see, was Good Morning America actually going to cover it?
Yeah.
Felt like they had to, and they did. But I also thought it was misleading. I'll just play you a little clip because they played part of the FCC chair. Here you go.
This kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
Carr criticizing the host and the network, saying this Wednesday afternoon on conservative commentator Benny Johnson's podcast.
And they have a license granted by us at the FCC, and that comes with it an obligation to operate in the public interest. And we can get into some ways that we've been trying to reinvigorate the public interest and some changes that we've seen. But frankly, when you see stuff like this, I mean, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct, to take action, frankly, on Kimmel, or, there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead.
Okay.
Nexstar and Sinclair, two of the largest owners of network affiliates, said they would preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live. ABC pulling the plug. A spokesperson for the network saying Jimmy Kimmel Live will be preempted indefinitely. President Trump now calling Carr's decision to cancel Kimmel, quote, great news for America.
That's hilarious.
Okay, more on Trump in a second. But the one part of what the FCC chair also said that they didn't have in that clip, I'll play for you, which I thought was...
certainly see a path forward for suspension over this. You could make a strong argument that this is sort of an intentional effort to mislead the American people about a very core fundamental fact, a very important matter. Disney needs to see some change here, but the individual licensed stations that are taking their content, it's time for them to step up and say, this, garbage, to the extent that that's what comes down the pipe in the future, isn't something that we think serves the needs of our local communities. But
Right. He mentioned the misleading part.
Yeah.
Which is a big part of it to me.
Well, sure it is. Yeah. And that's him giving an opinion there. And I think right now, ABC News, to me, yes, you can say, follow the money, I suppose, if you want to. But I also think that there are these networks, excuse me, who are seeing a need to change, regardless of what the FCC commissioner says. They're seeing a need to change because the ratings aren't there. I don't know what the revenue outlook is for Jimmy Kimmel. I have no idea. We'll probably find out here in the next couple of days. I know he does very well online, but how much revenue does that really generate versus the cost of production and producing that show?
Yeah,
So-
if you're to estimate it, what does it bring in? I don't know, 70-some million, but it costs $100 million to produce, roughly.
Right. I mean, something like that. We'll see what the firm numbers are. And I think they're looking for an off-ramp because there's not a huge appetite for left-wing commentary among the American public anymore. That's clear. And the late-night model is kind of dead.
Yeah. Everybody talked about that with Colbert. But you got all these people screaming, free speech! I thought we had free speech!
Yeah.
You do. But there can be consequences to your speech. There can also be consequences to sucking.
Yes. I think that's probably the bigger thing. And right now, ABC's probably looking at it going, well, now we can bench this guy. I don't know if they'll actually fire him or let this kind of cool off for a little while. But if they do indeed fire him, I mean, for them, they can say, well, the FCC's the bad guy. We're not going to get blamed for anything.
That is part of it, too. And they've got a big corporate deal they're trying to get through.
Yes.
Also. So, and that needs FCC approval. So it's like, oh. So in the end, you could say, freedom of speech. Sometimes it's a business decision.
Yeah.
It goes, far beyond that. As far as Trump, he spoke about this?
Yeah, well, he was asked about it during his trip to the UK. There was a joint press conference between him and the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer.
Oh, yes.
And he was asked about it. And, of course, Trump's going to weigh in on it.
Oh, you better believe it.
Well, Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else, and he said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as Charlie Kirk. And Jimmy Kimmel is not a talented person. He had very bad ratings, and they should have fired him a long time ago. So, you can call that free speech or not. He was fired for lack of talent.
Of course he said that. That's fantastic. And then the governor of Illinois weighs in, too?
Democrats right now seem to be legitimately more concerned about this than the political violence coming from within their own house.
It's probably true.
It is crazy to me. They are more forcefully speaking out against Jimmy Kimmel being sidelined than they were really worried about Charlie Kirk being assassinated in front of thousands. And then if you include the online views, millions of people.
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel, of course, been suspended, and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker went on MSNBC to say people need to rise up for Jimmy.
What? What?
Look, I built a Holocaust museum with survivors. I've also read a whole lot about authoritarian regimes. This is the playbook, folks. If you're not paying attention now and doing something about it, well, then you're going to have to sit down the rest of your life because democracy is being taken away.
Oh, my God.
What does doing something about it mean, JB?
Exactly.
What do you
I thought
mean by
we were
that?
supposed to lower the temperature.
Yeah.
That's astounding, man. It just seems so desperate.
It is desperate.
And I suppose that's for a number of reasons. And part of this, it seems to me, is you've had the left used to being able to get away with a lot of things for a long time, and a lot of it's stopping.
Yeah.
And it's like the screaming child that now can't get his way.
Yeah.
But the ramifications of this are much greater.
Yeah.
When you're talking about you need to rise up. What?
What does that mean? What do you really mean by that? Somebody should push back on that. I mean, and just ask him point blank, like, what do you mean when you say we need to rise up and do something about this, while also referencing the Holocaust?
No kidding, dude. And as far as, taking down the temperature, J.D. Vance was on Jesse Waters' show on Fox last night. First interview since Charlie Kirk's assassination. And part of bringing down the temperature was in that conversation.
Far left. You know, I saw something, maybe it was the ADL or one of these ridiculous organizations that said that right-wing violence is as common as left-wing violence. And then you go and look at the data and you say, what is it that you're causing right-wing violence? One of the things that they called right-wing violence is literally a gang of black Americans beating up on a Mexican guy. Well, yeah, if you categorize everything under the sun as right-wing violence, you can make your point for you, but that's BS. Nobody's buying it. Look at the way they're celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder. Look at the way that this assassin was radicalized by left-wing and probably trans-related stuff. Look at the way that even if you're not committing an act of violence, you are supporting those who do. You see that so much more on the far left. And I wish my friends who are on the left would just look themselves in the mirror and accept that they have a problem. Yes, absolutely. By all means, let's take down the temperature. But if you want to take down the temperature and you're on the left of center, the first and most important thing you can do is look in the mirror.
Not going to happen.
No. Well,
not for a lot.
They're already, or once again, out there saying, well, you know, Trump is talking about he's labeled Antifa as a terrorist organization. Antifa's just an idea. They're back to that.
No.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. Yep. And again, you've got the left defending Antifa.
Yes.
Not even thinking, how does that play with the American people? It doesn't.
Right.
Boy, they're dumb. I mean, not only are they bad people, a lot of them.
Yeah.
But also just dumb. You told me you had an old clip of Walter Cronkite. I'm very curious about. What is this about?
Well, this is, Walter Cronkite. He, of course, legendary newsman.
Yeah.
And in 1983, he was on the Merv Griffin show. I just happened to see this.
Okay.
And boy, especially now, it rings so true. And he was talking about his concerns for the TV journalism industry.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this. Roll it.
I'm afraid that there are a lot of young people coming along today, going into broadcasting, going through communication schools, whose real intent is to be stars. If television hadn't come along to be glamorous, they'd have gone to drama school and come to Hollywood. Instead, they've gone into television news. I kind of suspect at school they take trench coat 1 and 2 and makeup 1 and 2.
Wow.
Boy.
That's a great find, David.
He's not wrong.
No, you see it all over the place. And it's coming around. I mean, through tragedy, you're seeing a lot of good things coming out of this, honestly. All right, the 5 stories we're watching today, straight ahead right here.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-859-3220. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-859-3220. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-859-3220. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-859-3220 or biglou.com.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Thank you so much for being here. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins at home resting. Now time for the 5 stories we're watching today.
All right, number 5, the man who assassinated Charlie Kirk apparently wanted the cops to be gentle and nice to him as he was preparing to turn himself in. That was part of the negotiations as he was handing himself over. Didn't want the SWAT team showing up. Didn't want to run the risk of getting shot, according to the Washington County Sheriff. Yeah.
The more that comes out about this. Yeah. Wow.
All right, number 4, Jimmy Kimmel has been indefinitely suspended by ABC after he lied about who killed Charlie Kirk, saying it was a MAGA person or suggesting that it was.
Yeah.
Number 3, Democrat officials like Senator Chris Murphy and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker are calling for an uprising to defend Jimmy Kimmel's honor. And meanwhile, in the Wayback Machine, number 2, Jimmy Kimmel. Remember when Roseanne Barr got fired from her own show?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He praised ABC for taking the bold and decisive action of getting her off the air.
I bet he did.
Yeah. And then number 1, Vice President J.D. Vance posted, "Everyone, please congratulate Marco Rubio, the new host of ABC's Late Night Show." Marco Rubio's got like 6,000 jobs in this administration. It's very funny.
He is also part of some memes where he's sitting there not looking happy.
Yeah.
And the one was Rubio just found out he's hosting the Late Night Show.
Those are the 5 stories that we are watching today.
You know, you just had that clip a little while ago of Walter Cronkite, like as a prophet, afraid of what was going to happen in the future with like actors becoming TV newsmen.
Yes.
Basically. Brian Stelter. I mean, we made fun of him a lot on this show. Call him the potato. Maybe he was prophetic.
Oh, yeah?
Over the summer when Colbert was announced, CBS is going to be done with that show. Mm-hmm. This is what he mentioned at the time.
Kimmel was on vacation last week. He went to one of those anti-Trump good trouble protests in Wyoming. He posted an Instagram from there. He's holding a sign saying, "Make America Good Again." But look what his wife's Molly's sign says. His wife's sign says, "Don't bend the knee." It's almost like a message to his network, ABC, saying, don't try to cancel Kimmel next. Don't try to give in to Trump.
Well,
see,
if he wasn't such a bad guy, I wouldn't be laughing like I am.
No, again, I still think more than anything, it has nothing really to do with threats from the FCC or anything that Brendan Carr has said. And I can say this because Brendan Carr is a fan of this show. I know that actually for a fact. So,
are you serious?
I am serious. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
hey, buddy.
Yeah. I feel fairly safe.
Okay.
No, but I think it's more ABC taking advantage of the situation, much like CBS. You have the off ramp. You can use the FCC as the bad guy. You can get rid of what may not be working very well for your company.
Why did Nexstar do it?
Why did Nexstar preempt it?
Because it seems like the timeline was Nexstar.
Yeah, then
announces,
Sinclair.
And then ABC makes the decision.
Yeah.
So this was just like a decent off ramp.
I think so.
Yeah, very well could be. Man, did you see the huge bombshell lawsuit? The FTC suing Ticketmaster, seeking billions in fines. Wow. Accusing the online broker of raking in profits through exorbitant fees and turning a blind eye as bots illegally resell millions of tickets to customers.
Wow.
Yeah, seeking billions of dollars under the Bots Act, which allows fines of $53,000 per violation.
Yeah, I saw one estimate of in the hundreds of billions. Like, this will just wreck Ticketmaster.
Well, I can't wait to see all the details of this lawsuit come out. It's wild, man. This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. I mean, music fans have been frustrated for a long time. And I mean, I was talking to a buddy of mine that's been in touring bands for well over 30 years the other day. And talking about, you want to go see like an upper tier show anymore. It's over $200 a ticket.
Oh, for sure.
Oftentimes. I mean, and of course, a lot of us old schoolers will say, imagine that when you were 16, 18 years old. There's no way you could have afforded it. It's just kind of wild. All right, there's much to get to. Boy, Kash Patel, he's on the hot seat. He's doing very well with that. And you have something Van Jones said to get to, and what's your story in just a few. The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. I'm Jamie Markley, the Gen Xer. David Van Camp, the Millennial, the Sexy Boomer. Getting some sexy rest time. That's Scott Robbins. Be back in a week or so. Whenever he's ready. He had surgery the other day. Okay, you have a clip of Van Jones.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't even know what he was talking about. But some of the things that Van Jones has even said over the last year. So ridiculous.
It's insane.
It really is.
Well, CNN's Van Jones called into Aaron Burnett's show last night because, the emergency breaking news, ABC has suspended Jimmy Kimmel indefinitely.
Oh, no.
We have to call in. This is wall-to-wall cover. After he lied about, who killed Charlie Kirk. He says a red line has been crossed.
Can't wait to hear this. All right, roll it.
This is a red line that has been crossed for our industry, for the First Amendment, for the right of people to speak. There was nothing hateful about what was said, and even hateful speech is protected.
Sure.
This is not acceptable.
Time out a second. Are we clear? Because honestly, I'm confused by it a little bit. When they gave the reason for suspending Kimmel indefinitely, was it because he misled the audience, or did they say it was offensive, troubling?
I think it was more just lying to his audience.
Okay. So, and again, when you're talking about free speech here, that has nothing to do with what Kimmel did.
No.
Okay?
There was nothing hateful about what was said, and even hateful speech is protected. This is not acceptable. If you are going to run a media organization, it's called a news organization, you have to stand up to government bullying anywhere in the world, and certainly in the United States.
Is Jimmy Kimmel news now?
That was my question when he said that. Because Jimmy Kimmel's not a news product. I mean, that's not what the show is. I don't understand it, man. They're freaking out about this, and it's crazy how they are more bothered by this than they were after a very prominent activist and media figure was murdered. They keep saying, "No, Kimmel's gone." No, Charlie Kirk is gone.
Exactly.
He's gone.
Here's the rest of this.
Well, the job should be to speak truth to power, even when there are people who don't like the word truth anymore.
He didn't speak truth.
Right. That's the problem.
That's part of the problem, you dopes. Oh, my gosh.
But it's like you had all these people, and I'll have another clip coming up in What's Your Story, but you have all these people who were cheerleading when Fox fired Bill O'Reilly or Tucker Carlson. Megyn Kelly got fired from NBC because she asked about dressing up as Diana Ross for Halloween if you were a white person.
It was a legitimate question, and it was like the shrieking, oh, it's so offensive, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And yet it's celebrated.
Yes.
Now this is completely different. It was like our buddy Lars said, Jimmy Kimmel doesn't have a right to the job.
No.
And his employers can do what they want.
Yeah.
As long as it's, within the boundaries of the law, which has been done. And part of that, I'm thinking to myself, are they afraid that, oh my gosh, if people start noticing when we deceive the audience, they're probably thinking we're all screwed.
I think that's probably it. They're like, oh crap, we lie all the time. On
exactly.
purpose.
That's what we do. We take things out of context. You know, I was thinking about Van Jones and just the hyperbolic nonsense. I mean, we've made fun of him crying several times.
Vindication for a lot of people.
When he gets all upset in the triple intake.
Telling the truth matters. Being a good person matters.
Oh. Well, that Van Jones then disagrees with this current Van Jones.
Apparently. Yeah. You know Vivek Ramaswamy?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember his take on Vivek? It made Van literally shake.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is a beaut.
And you're watching the rise of an American demagogue that is a very, very despicable person. Yeah. And I was shaking listening to him talk because a lot of people don't know that is one step away from Nazi propaganda coming out of his mouth.
Good one, Van.
He's the I guess Vivek Ramaswamy is the brown face of white supremacy. Is that what we're supposed to believe?
Yes. Oh my gosh. You know, when that whole thing happened with the Ukrainian refugee that was stabbed, killed by, you know, the dude that had been like a career nutcase criminal, right? Been let out. And Charlie Kirk wasn't the only one at the time to bring up, switch, you know, the races here.
Yeah.
And how would this be taken?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know if you remember. And we played the clip the day it was earlier in the show before Charlie Kirk got shot of what Van Jones had done on CNN.
Hurt people. What happened was horrible, but it becomes an opportunity for people to jump on bandwagons. And then for someone like Charlie Kirk, he should be ashamed of himself. No one mentioned the word race, white, black, or anything except him. What people mention is the horror of what happened to this young woman.
That was not true.
Yeah.
It was just not true.
Right.
Now, the thing is, Van, in a lot of circles, has been put out there as like this intellectual heavyweight. And if you go back over time and listen to the takes, he's a hack.
Oh, for sure he is.
But that might sound harsh, but I mean, so many of his takes over time have been so hacky.
Yes. They like his look. That's why they keep him on the air. And he's well connected within the Democrat Party.
Yes.
But it's all driven by emotion with that guy.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And you know, the whole bit, too, when it comes down to it, they're freaking out. Kimmel misled the audience.
Yeah.
And then you look at the research that's out there, there are plenty on the left that think that the shooter could have been part of MAGA.
Yes.
That's why they do it.
Yes. It's muddying the waters.
And, you know, J.D. Vance did that interview with Jesse Waters. Losing my voice. Robbins is out. You're puking on the side, and I'm losing my voice. This is going to be trouble. On why the left and media are trying to paint the shooter as MAGA. And this is what J.D. Vance had to say.
Well, they would lie because they can't do that simple, basic thing of looking themselves in the mirror. They can't admit that their radicalism and their craziness helped to cause this problem. Look, this is not in dispute. You talk to the shooter's mother, you talk to the shooter's father, you talk to the local district attorney, you talk to the FBI director or the deputy director of the FBI. You look at every ounce of evidence that we have, and it is clear. This is a person who grew up in a pretty normal family, actually had a pretty good home life, who was radicalized by the far left, by the social networks of the far left, by the ideas of the far left, and got so far down the path of radicalization that he killed my friend. That is not a both sides problem. My friend is dead because of left-wing political radicalization, and if you want to cut that out, then be honest about it and look yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I know I shouldn't cuss on Fox News.
That's okay.
What? I mean, yeah, I think he's right. That's it's one of the reasons why they have to keep muddying the waters. We were talking about this yesterday, too, is because there is no counter argument to what occurred last week. There's no, you can't, made the point before, they can't even go guns, guns, guns.
No.
Because this is it was a hunting rifle. It wasn't a semi-automatic. It wasn't an AR. So there is nothing but nothing really to do, if you're a reasonable person, but to admit acceptance in that party's role in helping push the crazies to be crazier.
Yeah. And they're not going to do it.
No.
And they're going to keep sinking as far as the polls. I'm very confident of that. I think you're starting to already see it. All right, it's that time. Do it a couple of times a day. If we go around the table, it may not be the biggest story out there, but it caught your attention. What's your story here, David?
This is very funny. So remember, what was this? In 2021, CNN was launching a pressure effort to go after the cable carriers of Fox News.
Oh, yeah.
Get them off the air.
Yes.
Or to get them to fire, Tucker Carlson, etc. Now, at that time, media watchdog, the potato himself, Brian Stelter, said it wasn't censorship, it was reducing information pollution. That was the...
Oh,
here we go. You want to hear some of this?
Yes, I do.
The vast majority of people can agree that disinformation about, let's say, the pandemic is unhealthy. It's harmful. So how can that harm be reduced? Well, big tech platforms say they are removing lies about vaccines and stamping out Stop the Steal BS and QAnon cult content. Now, do these private companies have too much power? Sure. Yeah, many people would say yes, of course they do. But reducing a liar's reach is not the same as censoring freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is different than freedom of reach. And algorithmic reach is part of the problem. Now, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg seems to agree. Here's the headline from Politico. He's pledging to depoliticize Facebook. Zuckerberg says one of the top pieces of feedback that we're hearing from our community is that people don't want politics and fighting to take over their experience on our services. Well, he's several years too late, but that is a real issue.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's about reducing reach, not censorship.
Okay, so remember what you just heard there. For my story, I will do Brian Stelter yesterday.
Oh, my gosh. All right.
About Jimmy Kimmel. Let's see how it lines up.
Kimmel was expressing what we've heard some other liberals say in recent days, that the motives are unclear and that maybe the suspect in this case was a Republican or was some sort of far-right fringe figure. Of course, there has been a lot of discussion about that in recent days. There's a lot of evidence pointing in other directions about the suspect. But
all the evidence points in that direction.
Pointing in other directions. Not that one direction that we don't want to talk about.
That is a lie, fabrication. Okay.
But Kimmel was on the air talking about this, making a very serious commentary amid his jokes in his monologue Monday night. Here's where it became interesting earlier today. The FCC chairman, Brendan Carr, went on a far-right webcast and condemned Kimmel and urged ABC to suspend him. He also talked about possible regulatory punishments of Disney because there are lots of different stations that have licenses with the FCC. Within the past hour, we've heard from a big owner of stations that have affiliations with ABC, a company called Nexstar, saying that they were going to suspend Kimmel's show on their station. So in other words, about 24 stations were refusing to air Kimmel's show tonight as a result of this controversy. And then following word that some of those stations were basically revolting against Kimmel, Disney, the parent company of ABC, decided to yank the show entirely.
Yeah. Now saying this is very dangerous.
Yes.
A little bit different than 4 years ago, I notice.
Yeah, just a tad. I thought we were worried about freedom of reach.
Exactly.
Huh.
That's something, isn't it? Wow. All I can do is laugh. It comes around, you know. And by the way, ABC pushing a conspiracy theory. You got to hear this story. And Nimrod's in the news coming up.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
You don't need to let all your photos sit on your phone. Put them to good use with Aura Frames. It's Wirecutter's #1 digital frame for a good reason. It's so easy to set up. It comes with unlimited storage. All you need is the free Aura app and a Wi-Fi connection, and you can upload as many photos and videos as you want year-round.
It takes about 2 minutes to set up a frame using the Aura app. There are absolutely no hidden fees or subscriptions. Upload videos up to 30 seconds long, and your favorite live iPhone photos will play right there on the frame. You have complete control over who has access to your frame, and the Aura app lets you share photos more securely than with email, which many other digital frames require.
You can save on the perfect gift that keeps on giving by visiting auraframes.com. For a limited time, listeners can get $20 off their best-selling Carver matte frame with code MVCR. That's AURA frames.com, promo code MVCR. Support the station mentioning Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins at checkout time. Terms and conditions apply.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Yeah, there's always a lot of fad diets going around, and that's a problem because you'll lose weight, then you gain it back, and so on. It's called weight cycling, and when you lose 10 or so pounds and then you put the pounds back plus a couple more, it can put tremendous strain on your organs and lead to serious health issues. And if you do it enough, you're at risk for diabetes and liver damage, heart attack, stroke.
There is a great way out there to avoid weight cycling. It's non-prescription lean. It's an oral supplement that, well, it works like those shots, but no prescriptions, no needles. Its studied ingredients target weight loss in 3 different ways. Lean helps maintain healthy blood sugar. It helps control appetite and cravings, and it helps burn fat by converting fat into energy. And burning fat helps keep the weight off. So if you want to lose meaningful weight at a healthy pace and keep it off, most importantly, add lean to your diet and exercise lifestyle. Get 20% off when you enter MVCR at takelean.com. That's code MVCR at takelean.com.
So ABC News promoting a conspiracy theory?
Yeah. Boy, they're really having a heck of a time, aren't they? So it's a terrible story. 21-year-old student at Delta State University was found hanging from a tree. Now, police and university officials say the young man, Trey Reed, committed suicide. They say they have surveillance video that shows this, and there's no indication that a struggle happened. But there's a conspiracy theory out there that claims he was lynched. Now, coffin surfing lawyer Ben Crump, he's already on it.
Yeah, I heard that.
And ABC News this morning gladly passed along the fake news.
I saw that in the promo. I didn't even make it to this story, though.
George, authorities keep saying that there was no foul play in this case, leaving open the possibility that this young man took his own life. But in this heated political environment, there are many people on campus and watching this who are afraid and worried this was something more.
Many students and faculty don't know what to think. Campuses like this one have been caught in the cultural crossfire with bomb threats and false reports of active shooters.
You said there's surveillance footage?
That's what the cops say. Now, they haven't put it out.
Oh,
but
gosh, who wants to see that?
No. But it's like, okay, so some people online are lying and saying it was a lynching. Everybody else is saying, no, this was a suicide. And for some reason, this makes one of the lead stories on Good Morning America.
And the thing is, we're not surprised.
No.
But this stuff has been going on for a long, long time. Wow. And now we go to Nimrod's in the news.
When the going gets tough.
Damn it, this is too hard.
The dumb get dumber.
All right, Ian.
It's Nimrod's in the news on the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
I love the poorly educated.
All right. Nimrod's the news. We go to Palm Beach, where this dude was arrested at the airport because he was in the Delta Sky Club lounge. It's just not anybody can go in there. It's, one of those VIP areas.
Yeah.
And just so happened the police cam footage just got released of this.
I'm telling you with my authority that you're about 2 seconds from leaving the airport.
Because of why?
Because you don't have the proper identification to get into the club in the first place.
I'm going to ask one question. Are you going to leave this room right now? Yes, sir. Then get up and leave.
Then get up and leave.
If you don't leave, you're under arrest for trespass. Period. I'm not going to play with you. You may take your stuff and get out, or you're going to go to jail for trespassing. What is your choice?
He decided he'd go to jail.
Dang, it's not that nice.
No kidding. And that's Nimrod's in the news.
Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, and Scott Robbins.
We just become best friends. Yep.
Making sense of it all.
Now I get it.
And having some fun.
Lighten up, Francis.
This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Thank you very much for being here. I'm Jamie Markley. That's David Van Camp. Scott Robbins is resting at home after surgery earlier this week. Okay, David. Chris Murphy, senator, is calling to mobilize because of Jimmy Kimmel?
Because of Jimmy Kimmel. These guys are just not... You would think, again, when they're talking about toning down the rhetoric and all of this, after, well, one of our guys got murdered, you would think that they would have some sort of reflection. But no, they're right back to it. I mean, it's predictable, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But so Jimmy Kimmel, he got suspended by ABC indefinitely because he went on the air and claimed a MAGA person or suggested that a MAGA person assassinated Charlie Kirk. Democrats seem to be more upset about this than the actual murder itself. And here is Senator Chris Murphy.
Okay.
Stephen Colbert is gone. Jimmy Kimmel is gone now. You need to see what is happening right now. It is the systematic destruction of free speech in this country.
Free speech? How about shows that don't make money?
Yeah. Now, the person who lost his right to free speech was Charlie Kirk last week.
100%.
It is Donald Trump using the power of the White House, in this case the power of his regulatory agencies, to try to shut down any speech that opposes him. Understands the gravity of this moment. This is a moment for the country to mobilize. This is a moment for all of us to be out on the streets protesting, because if you don't raise your voices right now about the assault on free speech, about Donald Trump's decision to disgustingly exploit the murder of Charlie Kirk so as to permanently render...
this guy's despicable.
He is.
Really is. Because I think, and I don't know for sure, just a gut feeling, he's not that dumb. He knows what he's doing.
No, he's doing that on purpose.
He knows better.
Render powerless and impotent those who politically oppose him. There may be no democracy to save a year from now. This is a red alert moment. Man, it feels like the red alert has been on since January, but the days are getting darker, which means the obligation on us to stand up and mobilize is getting more urgent.
You see, where was that clip from? Do you know?
He posted that himself on social media.
Now, if any of the hacks on CNN in the evening or MSNBC actually pushed back on that to say, do you realize those shows were losing money, Chris? And that Kimmel outright was trying to deceive his audience? I would like to see that. That means you could turn some sort of page, but we all know this. They're all on the same team.
Yeah.
And most of it is about deception. And you see it in the polling, especially with people on the left, thinking that Charlie Kirk's shooter could be MAGA.
Yeah.
I mean, the same way after 2020 and George Floyd that you had, well, voting Democrats thinking, yep, 1,000 black men a year are gunned down by cops.
Yep.
Some were thinking 10,000 black men a year.
Yes.
Because of all the propaganda that they use on their airwaves. Man, that's something. And you got something here for the Wayback Machine?
Oh, yeah, just a flashback here. It is Jimmy Kimmel himself talking about Tucker Carlson getting fired. Maze Moore on X put this out.
Oh, okay.
Fox News
has severed bow ties with Tucker Carlson. After all these years, they are parting ways, which means he was fired. I mean, that's really what parting ways means. Tucker couldn't be reached for comment. He's already on a plane to Moscow to meet with his manager. But what a shock. I mean, what an absolutely delightful shock this is. Now Tucker can spend more time at home tanning his testicles and touching himself to that sexy green M&M. Sadly, he's probably not done poisoning old people's brains. The question now is, where will he do it next? Will he go to OAN? Will he go to Newsmax? Will he crawl back up Satan's fiery beehole from whence he came? We don't know.
Yeah. I don't remember anyone talking about freedom of speech stuff when Tucker got canned. It was more like, what, Fox got too much money coming in from pharmaceuticals?
Yeah.
Was that part of it? Was it the military-industrial complex? Exactly what was it?
Yeah, there was also talk that there was sort of a side deal made in that settlement with Dominion.
Yeah.
Which, that one didn't make sense to me because he wasn't really on that bandwagon.
No, man. He called out, who was
Sidney
that?
Powell, yeah.
Yes, he called her out.
Yeah.
He was the one. And I remember at the time, there were a lot of MAGA people saying, Tucker is bought and paid for.
Yeah.
Like, no, where's the receipts?
Yes.
I mean, there's a big build-up to this. And then when, release the Kraken, and then it didn't happen.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I think Tucker was probably right on that one.
Yeah.
And, there are some things Tucker's on. I'm like, man, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's an important voice. But, yeah, there was a lot of celebration then. And, dude, if there would have been this sort of thing where people thought it was a free speech issue with Tucker, and you would have had different people saying, hey, we got to go out, and show our support, people would have went out and showed support for Tucker at the time.
Oh, sure, I think so.
Way more than Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
I mean, does Jimmy Kimmel really have, rabid fans?
He's one of those guys that it's not widespread, but among a certain group of ideologically similar people, he is beloved by those people, yes.
But not even as much as Colbert.
No. He's not
even close.
He's not because, yes, I mean, it's not like Colbert has this, massive audience. Obviously, we've seen it.
Right.
But, yeah, he is much more of a, I would say, cultural icon than Jimmy Kimmel ever was.
Because between the three, and Gutfeld beats them all, but with Fallon, Colbert, Kimmel sucks hind teeth, doesn't he?
I think so, yeah.
And has for quite a while. Okay. Well, there'll be more on that, I'm sure. Weeping and wailing and free speech, which is just a load of nonsense. J.D. Vance was on with Jesse Waters last night, talking about Charlie Kirk and how he found out that Charlie had passed. I mean, part of that was just, kind of gut-wrenching. At one point, Waters asked about his legacy, and this is what J.D. Vance had to say.
I mean, I remember talking to Charlie, even in the last months before he died, about Catholicism and Protestantism and all of these different minutiae of the Christian faith, because I said this, he loved God, and because he loved God, he wanted to understand God, and so he was constantly thinking about it. But more importantly than that, he was constantly going out and talking about it. Like, you look at these Turning Points USA events, and you look at the interactions he was having with people, and people would say, why are you a Christian? And he would say, well, because I'm a sinner and Jesus saved me. Jesus saved my life. He wanted to be a true evangelist in the truest sense of the word, in the way that St. Paul was an evangelist. And I think that has to be part of his legacy. And I've seen, just in my own inner circle, people come back to the church purely because Charlie's death caused something inside them to stir. I would love to see that happen all over our country, and I think it is.
I think that was another reason why there were certain people that hated Charlie Kirk.
Definitely.
Not just the politics.
Yeah.
But also the Christianity with it.
And also informed Christianity. I mean, even if you disagreed with some of his theological points, the guy knew what he was talking about.
Oh, dude, like I said before, he could defend his faith better than almost anybody I know.
Yes.
Yeah, he had vast knowledge of the Bible and was, always trying to understand different theologies is really remarkable. Yesterday, the ousted CDC director was on Capitol Hill, and this didn't get much play. Rand Paul. I mean, sometimes Rand Paul drives me nuts if I'm honest. And other times I'm like, you go, Rand. You know, which is, sometimes you have friendships like that.
Sure.
You know, you just differ on some things, opinions on whatever. Sometimes I'm like, this is the part of common sense where I hear regular people, when they're talking about vaccines, talk about this. And then there are other people who just want to shout the other person down. Anti-vaxxer! And they're like, hold on a second. Can't we just have, like, some studies done here?
What is the medical reason for giving a hepatitis B vaccine to a newborn? See, everybody's like blithely going along. We can't change the childhood. You're somehow terrible if you want to change the childhood. We should be discussing what is the childhood vaccine schedule, and the burden should be on you. You want to make all the kids take this? The burden is upon you and the people you wouldn't fire to prove to us that we need to give our 6-month-old a COVID vaccine and that we need to give our 1-day-old a hepatitis B vaccine. That's what the debate ought to be about, not whether all vaccines are good or whether we live in Alice in Wonderland.
I actually agree with you, and I was open to the science. I just would not pre-commit to approving all the ACIP recommendations without the science.
Untrue.
Untrue. But when you'll see news stories done about that, in the hearing, and ABC had it this morning, they don't include things like that.
No.
It's very much propaganda-driven one way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy to see this. If you want to talk about health news, as far as feeling recharged, important for people, right?
Sure.
78% of women agree that a girls' night is vital to feeling recharged. Not just a nice-to-have bonus, but vital.
Vital, okay.
Yes. When they go out on a girls' night, drink of choice?
Cosmopolitan.
Now 80% say wine.
Well, yeah.
There you go.
I was getting fancy there.
I know. And then, cheese, crackers, cold cuts, maybe a slider, wings, whatever. 62% of women say they'd even choose a girls' night over a romantic dinner with their partner, mainly for the conversation. I don't think any of this bothers you at all, does it?
Not really.
No. Now imagine for a second. 78% of dudes said, yeah, guys' night's vital.
Yeah.
Okay, and 62 said, yeah, hanging with the boys is way better than a romantic dinner. You don't value me? You know how that's going to go.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, the conversation's better with the boys. Their stories take forever, and they're boring.
Can you get to the point today? The 5 stories we're watching today, much more straight ahead.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
Pure opportunity is what Michigan is all about. The opportunity to do more. The opportunity to connect with the best talent. The opportunity for people of all backgrounds to grow and expand their business. The opportunity to live and work in a state where paychecks go further. The opportunity is now, and it's right here in Michigan. Visit MichiganBusiness.org to discover all the ways the Michigan Economic Development Corporation can help your business thrive.
Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins is out, resting at home. Hopefully back next week, but he can take as long as he likes. You know what we got to do now? Yeah, the 5 stories we're watching today.
1, 2. All right, number 5, the Federal Trade Commission filed a bombshell lawsuit against Ticketmaster, accusing them of raking in profits through exorbitant fees and turning a blind eye as bots illegally resold millions of tickets to customers. The fines could total in the hundreds of billions of dollars. Like, if they lose this thing, it's over for Ticketmaster. They're going to be turned into a Spirit Halloween in a week.
And you got to believe for everybody else, the ticket prices are going to go down.
Yes, that's what it seems.
That's what it seems.
Number 4, in a new excerpt from her book, former Vice President Kamala Harris writes she wanted to pick Pete Buttigieg as her running mate, but, quote, we were already asking a lot of America to accept a woman, a black woman married to a Jewish man. Part of me wanted to say, screw it, let's do it. But knowing what was at stake, it was too big of a risk. So then she picked a guy who put tampons in boys' bathrooms. I mean, what? But again, it's the typical Democrat excuse making, right? Like,
it's because the public are so just unaccepting.
Yes.
Please.
No, I mean,
people don't care if you can do the job.
Right.
You just admit it instead of having, some sort of bravery. You're a box checker.
Yes.
Nobody's got respect for it.
That's basically it. Yes. What are we down to? Number 3. Jimmy Kimmel has been indefinitely suspended by ABC after he lied about who killed Charlie Kirk. There are some people saying he didn't do that. I mean, the clip is there. I mean, I don't know how you can take it any other way, but
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I mean, we can play it again. I mean, you already heard it, but my goodness, man.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
Yes. Everyone gets what you're inferring. Well, if you just go by the actual words, that's not the real world.
Yeah.
You know what the takeaway is for people.
Right.
He was trying to deceive the audience.
Yeah, down to number 2, Democrats like J.B. Pritzker and Senator Chris Murphy are calling for people to rise up, mobilize in honor of Jimmy Kimmel.
Listen, we know a lot of protesters are paid. You're going to have to pay these people probably a little bit more to go out and protest for that hack.
And then number 1 from the Daily Wire, the Trump administration's mass deportation campaign is surging, with more than 389,000 illegal aliens already removed from the United States. Federal immigration authorities are now on track to deport close to 600,000 illegal aliens by the end of Trump's first year in office. Those are the 5 stories that we are watching today. If you want to lose meaningful weight at a healthy pace and keep it off, add lean to your diet and exercise lifestyle. Get 20% off when you enter MVCR at takelean.com. That's code MVCR at takelean.com.
All right, got to ask a personal question. If you don't want to answer, I understand. Have you ever cried tears of joy?
Yes.
You don't have to talk about it. You don't have to tell the story if you don't want to. I just happen to see this poll. 1 in 8 people have never cried tears of joy.
Oh.
Yeah. That'd be 17% of dudes, 8% of women.
Mm-hmm.
Say they never have.
Oh.
Sure, if you want, don't. If you don't.
Mine was sending in the contract amendment when Scott was going to be officially joining the show again.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Remember TV did a story?
Yeah.
I didn't cry. I don't care what anybody said.
You did cry.
I didn't. Was there an actual tear?
Yeah, well, I think so.
Maybe. I've never watched it again. I don't know. I don't want to see it. Did I Van Jones it? This is the Markley Van Camp and Robbins show. I mean, it wasn't like,
It's a vindication for a lot of people.
It wasn't like that.
No. I do remember emailing it into corporate, though, the new contract that says, yes, it's now going to be the Markley Van Camp and Robbins show, and knowing everything he'd been through with the heart attacks, and being in a coma, all of us thinking, he's never going to be able to do this.
I know.
Again. And then it wasn't a Van Jones thing. I just noticed, I was like, why are my eyes wet? What's going on here? Oh, my gosh.
That's weird.
Those are tears. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole Robbins story, I mean, we've talked about it so many times. There are some days where right before I open the studio door to see him, I'm like, I can't believe that guy's still here.
Yeah.
And then you just get used to it for months and months, and it's part of it, but the story's remarkable. All right, we got to get to a couple of news updates and a round of What's Your Story straight ahead. The Markley Van Camp and Robbins Show. I'm Jamie Markley, the Gen Xer, the millennial David Van Camp, sexy boomer Scott Robbins was saying resting at home.
Mm-hmm.
He just texted us a picture of Jimmy Kimmel in farmland. Looks like a lettuce field. The caption is, "But who will pick our crops?" James Woods put that out on X.
Well, I think, if you're recovering from heart surgery, I think this is probably good for the soul for him. Of the three of us, that guy hated Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh my gosh! And what's weird is he used to really like him.
Yeah,
I think it's worse when you really liked someone or believed in them, however, and then they turn out to be what they are, and you're incredibly disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That's why I think so many people that voted for Obama the first time, cannot stand him.
Oh, sure.
Because they just felt duped. But yeah, that's a funny picture. Okay, Kash Patel, FBI director. He had the Senate the other day. Yesterday, it's the House. It's going back and forth. He's got to take all this nonsense, but he's pretty good at fighting back.
Oh, for sure. That's where the foray into the podcast world has become very useful for somebody in his position.
Yes.
And so Democrats were trying to go after him for all sorts of things. We heard, the other day, Mazie Hirono saying, well, you have very harsh push-up or pull-ups that you're making people do. Women don't feel safe doing these pull-ups.
Admitting that there's differences between men and women. It was crazy.
Yes. Let's take that win at least.
Mm-hmm.
Well, also they wanted to go after him on Epstein because now the Democrats really care about Epstein. And so Representative Jamie Raskin kept asking why more materials have not been released.
Oh, yeah.
Have you released all of the stuff that the FBI has seized from Epstein's house? The computers, the emails, the file cabinets, the documents? What about the financial records? Have you released all of that?
Everything the court has allowed us to
Which
release.
court are you talking about?
3 separate federal courts have come in and said...
We're talking about the evidence you've got. It's got nothing to do with what those courts have.
Do you have any idea how the law works? Do you want me to break the law in a federal judge's order?
No, I want you to follow your own
curiosity?
word, Director Patel. You said up there it was under the direct control of the FBI director. He had the black book.
Everything I have direct control over, we have gone to court. You haven't.
Complete your sentence. Everything you have direct control over, you said.
If you're not familiar with the court orders, that's not my fault.
Oh, I'm
Go
perfectly.
look at them.
I'm perfectly familiar with them.
Yeah. Did you hear the part with Dan Goldman?
Oh gosh, this guy.
Oh, we all can't stand that guy.
Mm-hmm.
He tries to tell Kash, well, I was a real lawyer. And it really backfired on him, at least in my opinion. See what you think.
We are releasing as much as legally allowed. That's why we went back to
how
the
is
courts.
How is that not legally allowed?
Sir, do you know how court orders work? Do you know how protective orders
Actually,
work? Do you know how
Mr.
sealing
Patel,
orders
I was a real prosecutor for 10 years. I know exactly how.
So I was a
court
fake
orders.
one?
And I want to understand what the court order prevents you from releasing witness statements that the FBI took.
You should know that as a real prosecutor, when the court hand downs a protective order and a motion to seal, the material is sealed unless
So
that
your
judge
testimony
waives
here-
it.
Yep. Yeah. As a real prosecutor.
If you're a real prosecutor, then you should know real things, right?
Exactly. J.D. Vance, when he was on Fox last night with Jesse Waters, they were talking about looking into all the money on these left organizations and are they responsible for violence? Now, we've seen it for so long, bricks showing up before a riot.
Yeah.
Somebody's printing these signs. Someone's organizing it. Where's this money coming from? And going after those people. And then the follow-up, Waters asked if the militant, trans movement, is it like a terrorist organization? Thought that was an interesting question.
If you are encouraging people to commit acts of violence against the United States government or against your fellow Americans, absolutely, you're involved in a terrorist movement. I don't know enough about that particular organization, but what you increasingly see, Jesse, is you see people in the trans community and other members of the far left who are saying they are so threatened by negative rhetoric that they must take arms and attack people. If your movement is telling you to commit acts of violence against people for speaking words that you don't like, number one, you're evil, and number two, you are engaged in a terrorist movement, and that's part of what we have to root out in the White House. And this is very important, Jesse. I've talked to a lot of people about this. I've talked to Stephen Miller probably 7 times in the past 2 days. We are working very hard to ensure that the funding networks for left-wing violence, that the radicalization networks for left-wing violence, that if you encourage or fund your fellow Americans or anybody else to commit acts of violence because you disagree with political speech, you are going to be treated like a terrorist organization, and we're going to go after you.
How deep do you think this goes, David? You're more familiar with the online world, and I'm not saying you're like modern-day gamer with a lot of... But you have more of an idea of it than someone like Scott or I would have.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there is a group that's very, very active, and it's not totally centralized. I mean, when Democrats try to sort of push down Antifa or Trantifa, they're not entirely wrong when they say that it's not 100% centralized. However, there is organization within it. I think there are disparate factions by design. And because it's much harder to play whack-a-mole with these folks. So if they are not necessarily all like going to one convention center together, essentially, right?
Got it.
But, I mean, there was a terrorist attack in North Texas at an ICE facility, if you remember that, the ambush. Yep. That was an underground Trantifa organization. There was also, and this one didn't get a lot of play in the press, but we talked about it a lot when it was really going on. Remember the so-called Cop City near Atlanta? This massive fire, EMS, and police training facility that was being built, being constructed, and there were quote-unquote protesters who were like firebombing it and setting explosive devices. And one of the guys, what did they call him? Tortuguita, I believe. He was one of these like they, them or something. Fired a shot at a cop and then wound up getting killed as a result of it.
Oh, and there was an outcry about it.
Yeah, there are still people. Actually, in that particular case, one of these, I don't remember if it's GLAAD or the Human Rights Campaign or whatever, they put that guy who is an actual terrorist in their like trans people who've been victimized by violence list.
That's right.
It's like, no, he was a violent terrorist. That's not.
Yes.
It wasn't like some random guy said, "Hey, you're trans." Boom. He shot at a cop.
Dude, and that's the thing. At the time, watching this unfold, and we're asking each other, how can the authorities just let this happen? Yeah. And that's happened in so many different places. Now you're seeing it stop, and people are crying injustice. Mm-hmm. It should never have been allowed to happen in the first place.
But the simple answer to your initial question is how deep does it go? I think very, very deep. And some of it is in the form of radical prosecutors who, like you say, cops don't arrest these guys because they know they're not going to go to jail.
Exactly.
And who funds those campaigns? Well, a lot of guys like George Soros and other left-wing billionaires.
Yeah. And I know that goes even deeper to some of that money going to other people that don't work, quote, within the government, but they're writing the laws for the local governments.
Yes.
It's freaking bonkers. Yeah. Department of Justice has their hands full, to say the least. All right, it's that time. We go around the table. It may not be the biggest story out there, but it caught your attention. David, what's your story here?
Well, CWB Chicago, if you're interested in all things Chicago crime-related, they are very great. I would say that they are one of the more balanced news outlets out there.
Oh.
And that it's not like a right-wing thing or a left-wing thing. They just tell you what's going on in the city of Chicago. Now, they have this interesting report. So just last week, it was early in the morning on September 11th, and there was a smash and grab that happened on the Magnificent Mile. Now, someone got killed in it. An innocent man wound up getting killed during the getaway. Terrible situation. Well, now it's been revealed that one of them is a 35-year-old guy named Kellen McMiller. He's in the hospital after the car crash during the getaway.
Okay.
He's recovering, but he is under arrest right now for it. Apparently, the guy had also outstanding warrants in something like 4 states. Yes, he had outstanding warrants in 4 states, according to CWB Chicago. Less than a week before this smash and grab, where he was arrested, he was photographed next to the governor of Illinois.
No way.
J.B. Pritzker, because he was part of their peacekeeper squad. These are citizens who go out and try to interrupt violence before it starts.
Oh, right.
So there are a lot of questions there. One, because this isn't the first time a so-called peacekeeper has turned out to actually be a criminal. Because, I mean, you think about that. If you are a street thug, and you can kind of have the inside scoop on maybe where the cops will be or maybe where they're not going to be, that's very good. And apparently their background check system really sucks in Illinois, because not only was this guy allowed to be part of this peacekeeper thing, but he was standing right next to the top executive in the state of Illinois. He was honored by J.B. Pritzker, despite having outstanding warrants in 4 states. I mean, my goodness. Now they have, the state of Illinois and J.B. Pritzker's office have quietly removed that photo.
Oh, I bet they have.
What a mess, man.
You know, I wouldn't even be surprised if he still called him a hero.
Right.
Peacekeeper. Now, if he was a promise keeper, oh my gosh, he'd be the devil. In J.B. Pritzker's world. Wow. For my story, you tell me, a lot of people are kind of excited about this and calling it a good use of AI. And that is an AI receptionist on your phone. AT&T apparently is currently testing this. It can answer your calls and block spam. The main element, they say, is a screening process to determine if a call is legit or not. And for somebody like, let's just face it, Scott, is not here, but he'll admit to sometimes, well, I thought I might know that town, so I just answered the phone.
Yeah.
Like, stop doing that. But it won't just give you information on the number. It can actually answer and then ask questions to figure out if the caller is human or a bot, how urgent the call is, because you can, base it on whatever criteria you want. The AI receptionist will say, who may I say is calling? What is this in regard to? It is kind of like having an assistant, I guess.
That is good, and because sometimes the scammers are really just trying to pick up keywords that maybe like a bank's automated system would pick up on, like you saying your first and last name, you saying yes, so they can get through menu options.
Exactly.
They do the voice recognition. So if it's somebody else's voice, then they're not going to be able to do that.
Apparently, they're going to roll it out this year as a test for some AT&T customers. Haven't said when it might be available to all customers, but that could be one problem solved on your phone. Okay, you have an update on the Charlie Kirk shooter and Nimrod's in the news coming up.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
He's coming. Here he comes. Surprise! Your table saw broke. Also, the warranty expired weeks ago, so you need to pay for a new one out of pocket.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Oh, and the replacement part you ordered doesn't fit, so it's completely useless. What a waste.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
What are you doing every day to support your liver? If you enjoy sweets, fast food, alcohol, or take any medications, that's a vital question to ask. Hi, I'm Sherry Torkas, pharmacist and health author. For over 30 years, I've helped people make informed decisions about their health, especially concerning prevention and long-term wellness. Supporting your liver isn't just a wellness trend, it's a daily essential. That's why I recommend Active Liver by New Nordic. It's made with plant-based ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and globe artichoke, herbs clinically studied for their protective and restorative effects on the liver. Active Liver blends traditional herbal wisdom with modern scientific research. Not all supplements are created equal. I trust Active Liver because it's backed by science, meets strict quality standards, and delivers true daily liver support.
Protect your liver and give it the support that it deserves by making Active Liver from New Nordic part of your daily wellness routine. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. You know, you don't need to let all your photos sit on your phone. You can put them to good use with Aura Frames. It's Wirecutter's #1 digital frame, and for good reason. It is very easy to set up, and they have different frame options. And the best part, it comes with unlimited storage. All you need to do is get the free Aura app and a Wi-Fi connection. You can upload as many photos and videos as you want year-round.
Yeah, there are absolutely no hidden fees or subscriptions. It's great if you've got family in a different town or maybe a different country. Because all you do is you upload the photo and boom, it's there on their frame no matter where they are on the planet as long as they have the Wi-Fi connection hooked up.
Grandparents love it.
Yes. You can save on the perfect gift that keeps on giving by visiting auraframes.com. For a limited time, listeners can get $20 off their best-selling Carver mat frame with code MVCR. That's auraframes.com, promo code MVCR. Support the station by mentioning Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins at checkout, code MVCR, auraframes.com. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, David, you have an update on Charlie Kirk's shooter?
Yes. So they were giving an update yesterday. The Washington County Sheriff, Nate Brooksby, was giving the update about what led to the arrest, because they did call the cops. They did negotiate a peaceful turning in process.
Okay.
He wanted the cops to be nice to him.
Oh, my gosh.
He was fearful of a SWAT team hit on his house, or he was fearful of being shot by law enforcement. So part of the negotiation and getting him to bring himself in was that we would treat it as delicate and as soft as possible to make him feel comfortable to where he would show up at my office, and that's exactly what happened.
What did he ask for, can I ask?
He basically for a peaceful, gentle, comfortable transition for him to come out.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That's eye-rolling. I mean, I could say a lot more than that.
Fearing for his safety.
Oh, really?
After he just murdered somebody in cold blood.
Yeah. You know, at least someone there didn't say, it was very touching. The way he...
Right.
like Gutman from ABC, which is still just unreal to me. And I got to see this last night because I'm watching, I forget what was on, but they were playing that again. Mm-hmm. And if you hadn't heard it, this was from the other day on ABC.
We have seen an alleged murder with such specific text messages about the alleged murder weapon, where it was hidden, how it was placed, what was on it. But also, it was very touching in a way that I think many of us didn't expect. A very intimate portrait into this relationship between the suspect's roommate and the suspect himself.
I looked over at my wife. Her jaw was down.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
That's how broken. Well, they're all that way. Yeah. But ABC, what a week, huh? All right, we got to get to Nimrod.
When the going gets tough.
Damn it, this is too hard.
The dumb get dumber.
All right, Ian.
It's Nimrod's in the News on the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
I love the poorly educated.
All right. Nimrod's in the News. We go to California, town of Torrance. Oh, man, we're running out of time. Big fight at the Benihana. I mean, just out of nowhere. Security guy, worker, fight, no arrest yet.
Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, and Scott Robbins.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Making sense of it all.
Now I get it.
And having some fun.
Lighten up, Francis.
This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins is at home resting, weeping, already missing Jimmy Kimmel. That's a joke, by the way.
Yeah.
You can't stand Jimmy Kimmel.
No, Jimmy Kimmel suspended indefinitely. I think he'll probably be back, but we'll see. Suspended indefinitely after comments about Charlie Kirk's death, suggesting to the audience that MAGA was desperate to say it wasn't a MAGA person who killed him.
We weren't desperate. Dude, watch the news.
Yeah.
Watch what happened. The charge, I mean, all of it. He knew that on Monday night.
Yeah, what's been fascinating to watch is media just pull out all the stops to talk about how terrible this is and blah, blah. When like 5
free
minutes
speech
ago,
is that's the big argument, right? Okay.
When like 5 minutes ago they were celebrating any conservative that got canceled, that lost a show, Gina Carano, for example, from Disney, for a post that she made. Roseanne Barr getting fired from her own show.
Yes.
I mean, there's a very long list. I mean, Megyn Kelly getting fired because she asked about Halloween costumes, and they said she was supporting blackface, which is ridiculous. Because that's not what she said.
No, it wasn't what she said.
No. And funny enough, Jimmy Kimmel, between the two of them, is the only one who actually has worn blackface.
That is true. Yes, Karl Malone, Oprah.
Yeah.
I mean, all of that. And Jake Tapper did an emergency show?
Yeah, he did it just on his phone. He put it online, or not on his phone. He put it online, actually produced his own thing to talk about what to make of this emergency that we face.
Boy, oh boy. This guy really feels he's that important, huh? Mm-hmm. People are looking to me for answers.
Yes.
So how do we make sense of the fact that late-night host Jimmy Kimmel indefinitely lost his show? Follow the money. In August, Nexstar, the largest owner of TV stations, local TV stations in the country, announced that they wanted to purchase their rival Tegna for more than $6 billion. Now, in order for that deal to go through, Nexstar would need the approval of the Federal Communications Commission. And so, while there are no doubt people who are legitimately offended by what Kimmel said, and no doubt tensions are high and feelings are fraught, there is also a lot of money to be made. And there are also a lot of people who want to endear themselves to the FCC commissioner and President Trump.
Well, you would have to say then he's poo-pooing the whole free speech thing there.
Well, yeah.
The argument from the left. Mm-hmm. Really? I mean, people on his network, which is funny to me. And you have another clip?
Oh, yeah. MSNBC's Chris Hayes. He's the guy that kind of looks like if Harry Potter quit wizardry to become an assistant manager at a failing co-op bookstore. Yeah, he's a
that
weird.
Is spot on, man.
He's a weird little guy.
Oh yeah.
This has been put out now. It's sort of a side-by-side, okay? So what you're going to hear at first is Chris Hayes talking about Jimmy Kimmel getting fired. And then right after that, we'll go in the Wayback Machine and hear his reaction to Fox News canning Tucker Carlson.
Okay.
ABC made the announcement Kimmel would indeed be taken off the air indefinitely. And this is just the latest chapter in Donald Trump's ongoing campaign to crack down on free speech, dominate the media, and essentially render the First Amendment meaningless. So it was for the journeyman cable news host Tucker Carlson, just fired from his third network. He believed he could say anything, no matter how vile, no matter how disgusting, no matter how offensive, no matter how dehumanizing or belittling. And if you act like a sociopath over and over and over and over, you will become unpopular on the national stage. That's just like a basic principle. Over time, probably not going to work out well for you in the long run. Eventually, people will be rightly offended.
People are offended.
The thing was, Tucker still had the best ratings on Fox when he got fired.
Yes.
So that was also kind of BS there. But, man, that's funny to hear that back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. You know, I got to hear this clip again of the FCC director saying what he said, because none of them will bring up exactly what he said. And I think that it's on purpose, because it's part of the game for them to get to the part of what he said.
You could certainly see a path forward for suspension over this. You could make a strong argument that this is sort of an intentional effort to mislead the American people about a very core fundamental fact, a very important matter. Disney needs to see some change here, but the individual licensed stations that are taking their content, it's time for them to step up and say, this, garbage, to the extent that that's what comes down the pipe in the future, isn't something that we think serves the needs of our local communities. But
yes,
you could.
And I know, man, I'm beating the drum I've been on for a long time.
You could make a strong argument that this is sort of an intentional effort to mislead the American people.
That's exactly what it was, what Kimmel did.
Yeah.
So it's funny to me, and they won't say it, but in my mind, what I'm hearing, all these people say, well, in the First Amendment, free speech, you just can't get out there and lie on public TV anymore. And if that's true, we don't have jobs, because that's what they do.
Well, dude, I mean, and this is really nothing new. They're acting like this is some new dark chapter. I mean, not only in recent memory can we prove that to be laughably false, that, the president or the government or a political party has tried to pressure networks into firing people. I don't think they had to pressure very much, because I think ABC probably wants to trim some fat. But we'll see. Because, again, I don't even know if he's going to be ultimately fired. But also, like, in the mid-'90s, after the Oklahoma City bombing, the Clinton administration was trying to get Rush Limbaugh canceled. They blamed him for the bombing.
Oh, that's right.
In part, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess when you look at it that way, there's really not a whole lot new to the whole thing there. Brian Stelter, CNN, he was shaking.
It's all about jawboning. It's all about public pressure. Actually revoking FCC licenses is extremely difficult. I wrote about this last fall when candidate Donald Trump was talking on the campaign trail about wanting to punish stations by taking away their licenses. And throughout the history of the country, ever since we've had broadcast television, license revocations are extraordinarily rare. Once you've got one, you're pretty much guaranteed to keep it. So the threat is not that the FCC is actually going to take away a license. It's about the public noise. It's about the shame and embarrassment. It's about Brendan Carr going on podcasts and embarrassing ABC. There's a term for this. It's jawboning, and that's what we've seen happen today in a very real way.
I think he's missing the mark there.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, and even then, that actually does undercut the argument that Trump was somehow using the federal government to get him fired because if he's saying, well, individual stations aren't really going to get their broadcast license pulled in all reality, well, then there is no threat.
Exactly.
Then it's just, you want to talk about the First Amendment, Brendan Carr, he's got the First Amendment too.
Yeah.
He can go out there and say whatever he wants.
Yeah. Because, again, he mentioned that part about misleading the audience. He really didn't talk about, I think he did also say it was highly offensive to a lot of people.
Yeah.
It was, to me, that wasn't the reason.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know Nexstar had a different statement, and so did ABC, but it seems to be kind of convoluted a little bit of exactly why.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's, different takes, but I'm just here for the ride and enjoying the ride on that one.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we'll see where it all goes. But it shows losing money. That's never a good thing. I think what you had this journalist professor on CNN, Jeff Jarvis.
Okay.
He was saying to Scott Jennings, hey, you offend people. Scott Jennings like, yeah, I expect to get fired every day.
Scott, I'm not going to tell you anything you don't know here. You sometimes offend people. I hear about it on the socials. Do you think that you should then be held to the same standard that you're asking for, that if someone says that you're offensive, that you're not doing civic discourse, that CNN should kick you off? I'm not worried about you and that happening to you in the present regime, but I am worried about other people in this building.
Two things. We don't fall under the same statutory regime. A. B, I expect to get fired every day. This is a tough business. And if I were Jimmy Kimmel, I'm surprised that a guy who once wore blackface and caused large-breasted women to jump on trampolines lasted this long in the media business to begin with. He was long past his sell date, and the fact that he couldn't realize that and was going down this road of partisan hackery, being unfunny and demonized.
I like the journalism professor.
Yeah.
Journalism professor. It's like a retired magician who never quite mastered the tricks, but they'll spend hours explaining how the rabbit should come out of the hat, but somehow there's never a rabbit.
That's a freaking great take.
Journalism professor.
Because he looks like that.
But also, I think Scott Jennings makes a good point about, you could be fired any day. I think that's a reality that everybody, regardless of what industry you're in, that's a reality there, and certainly in media, because if you're going live, you could say something and not even really mean it a certain way.
Right.
But people take it the wrong way, and boom, you're done. It happens.
You get a breaking news story, you react to it, and then you're like, wow, okay, I didn't think through that one. Yeah, it can happen.
It does happen, and it happened on that show, on that exact show. Because remember, what was his name? Ryan James Gerdersky? They were talking about Israel and Hamas, and then you had this, just really vile, Mehdi Hassan used to be on MSNBC.
Oh, yeah.
And then Ryan just said, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. And then he goes, did you just threaten to have me killed? Do you want me to die? And it's like, actually, it's the opposite. He's saying he hopes your beeper doesn't go off. He is saying you're part of Hamas.
Right.
Because you are pretty supportive of Hamas.
Exactly.
And then Abby Phillip came right back on after a break and said, we apologize for that language. It's unacceptable. And he got the boot. He was never brought back on.
That's right.
For saying, I hope you don't die.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Wow. All right. When we were doing Nimrods in the news, because we were doing that other story about ABC, it kind of got cut short. The deal was this. There was this fight that erupted at this Benihana in California.
Mm-hmm.
And the best part, and they don't have any arrests yet, but apparently it was one of the guards there and another employee were having a dispute about something, and then the haymakers were starting, right? And they had, audio of the whole thing. You can hear them, getting after it. One guy yells, and you got women screaming out because they're, going back and forth. And people are getting up, from their tables. Wow. The best part of the video is one old boy is sitting there. It's not going to interrupt my dinner. He just keeps on eating. As these guys are getting after it with the fight. I like that. Calm and cool under the circumstance. Yeah, I paid good money for this food. I'm going to keep eating. Love that. Man arrested for threatening casino company. We got to get to that story and the 5 stories we're watching today. Straight ahead.
Football season is back on Prize Picks. Every day we make choices, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. So kick off the season right by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Just use the code MVCR on the Prize Picks app. With millions of users and billions of dollars awarded in winnings, Prize Picks is the best place to put your takes to the test. Plus, the app is really simple to use. You just pick 2 or more players across any sport, pick more or less on their projections, and if you're right, you could win big. With simple stats and user-friendly policies, Prize Picks is the most fan-friendly app to make your picks. All transactions on the app are fast, safe, and secure. Don't miss any of the action this season on Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code MVCR, $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. That's code MVCR on Prize Picks, $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 in lineups just for playing, guaranteed. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-859-3220. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 to 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-859-3220. That's 800-859-3220 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-859-3220. 800-859-3220.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins resting at home. Now it's time for the 5 stories we're watching today.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Number 5, the Federal Trade Commission has filed a big lawsuit against Ticketmaster, saying that they have made massive profits through exorbitant fees and also turning a blind eye as bots illegally resell millions of tickets to customers. Now, the fines are up to, $53,000 per claim? So
with those you're talking billions of dollars.
Hundreds of billions if they lose in court. So we'll see what happens. I mean, this would be the end of Ticketmaster in all likelihood if the FTC is successful in court. Yeah. Number 4, in a new excerpt from her book, Kamala Harris writes that she wanted to pick Pete Buttigieg as her running mate, but we were already asking a lot of America to accept a black woman married to a Jewish man. Part of me wanted to say, screw it, let's do it, but knowing what was at stake, it was too big of a risk. So you went with Governor Twinkletoes, who actually comes across as gayer than Pete Buttigieg. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, who's more flamboyant?
He was going to be the man whisperer throughout the Midwest, remember, with all the swing states.
And the twinkle toes and the jazz hands. I mean,
Yes.
Whatever, man. All right.
Yeah.
It's interesting that she also calls her own voting base homophobic, racist, sexist, and also anti-Semitic.
Very much. Well, if you look back at the primary, especially with black voters, Kamala Harris and Pete Buttigieg did terrible.
Oh, sure they did. Yeah.
Both. Yeah. Well, she didn't even make it to the primary.
No, she didn't. Number 3, Jimmy Kimmel has been indefinitely suspended by ABC after he lied about who killed Charlie Kirk. Number 2, Vice President J.D. Vance posted, "Everyone please congratulate Marco Rubio, the new host of ABC's Late Night Show." Marco's got a lot of jobs in this administration. And number 1 from the Daily Wire, the Trump administration's mass deportation campaign is surging with more than 389,000 illegal aliens already removed from the United States. They are on pace, apparently now, when you include those already in custody and pretty much on their way out, to get close to 600,000 illegal aliens deported by the end of the year. Those are the 5 stories that we're watching today. You can save on the perfect gift that keeps on giving by visiting auraframes.com. For a limited time, listeners can get $20 off their best-selling Carver matte frame with code MVCR. That's auraframes.com, promo code MVCR.
They're calling it the first flying car crash ever, as two flying cars collided in China.
How does that happen?
Officials say they were performing stunts in formation at this air show.
Okay.
So that's basically the deal. Both pilots are okay. By the way, I don't know how you picture it. They're quadcopter flying cars.
Okay.
Not like the airplane kind.
Okay.
So you seem disappointed that you're saying it's not really a flying car.
It's not really a flying car. That's just a small helicopter, basically.
Sort of.
Well, it's a quadcopter, but yeah.
Yeah. But the one landed safely. The other flying car burst into flames when it landed. Again, the pilot's okay. They've had different, sort of crash landings, but never crashing together before, so that's the first. This is the Markley Van Camp and Robin Show. Okay.
Does Allstate cover that?
Not sure. They predicted this even when I was a kid, way back then, David, with the Jetsons. And still might see it.
What is that song? I forget who sings it now. It was about the future and being disappointed in the future, and it was "Where the Bleep Is My Jetpack." Do you remember that song?
Man, it rings a bell, but I can't place it. Did you know, speaking of music, they're trying to figure out who ripped off Led Zeppelin the most?
Oh, buddy.
If you want, I can bring that story up before the end of the show.
Sure,
we could get to that. There's a couple of news updates, too. Oh, we got to get to the man arrested for threatening a casino company and why he did it. And much more straight ahead. The Markley Van Camp and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins is out resting at home after surgery on Tuesday. David Van Camp throwing up just once during the show?
Just once during the show, but something is making a move for a second time.
Oh, buddy. You're a gamer.
Yeah, you got half an hour left, We'll make it.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Got to get to the story. What was the deal with a guy arrested for threatening a casino company? You got that story.
Yeah, so this was in Las Vegas, a casino and hotel company. This is Station Casinos. They memorialized Charlie Kirk on the marquees with a photo and the message in loving memory of Charlie Kirk. Well, last Friday, a Station Casino employee contacted police about a call from a person complaining about the marquee memorials. Not surprising there. The caller said that if the memorial was not removed from the marquee, they would destroy the sign and take it down for them. They got a second call from the same number saying, can you tell your boss there to take down that Charlie Kirk image on your sign? If you don't do that, not only are we going to destroy your sign, we're going to bleeping and take out your CEO too.
Wow.
Investigators later determined the person's phone was connected to an email account listed to Thomas T.J. Fedokovich, 26 years old. Madison, Wisconsin is where he was from, I guess, but he's not living there. Not really clear where he was living, although he was staying in the Las Vegas area. And so they have arrested him for making those threats.
Wow, man. It was a week ago yesterday when Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And looking back on it now, because in some ways it feels fresh, in other ways it feels like that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Are you still surprised at the reaction of people celebrating and then being mad at things like this?
I think to me I'm not totally surprised that noise is out there. And actually, let me rephrase that. I'm not surprised at all that some of that noise is out there. I'm really, really disappointed in how many people in positions of authority, but whether it's a school teacher or a cable news producer or a cable news anchor, who are kind of justifying it or celebrating it. And
yes, I'm with you there. You knew that there would be sort of the keyboard warriors.
Sure. Oh,
you know, just that you have a picture in your mind of who they are. But then when you see, you know, a nurse here, a teacher there, like crazy, and some of the things they were saying, like this nurse in Florida, I'm cheering for the assassination. I don't mind saying it. He was a bleep. Deserves to be amongst the dead. Should have been tortured. Oh, my goodness.
That's a nurse?
That's a nurse. Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. Nicole. Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission employee. Said the whales are deeply saddened to learn of the shooting of Charlie Kirk. Ha ha, just kidding. And then I'm not even going to read what that said. But yeah, they don't have their job anymore. A public defender for Tulsa County. Same sort of stuff. University of South Dakota professor fired. This guy, Michael Hook. Have you seen this one?
No.
Okay, I don't give a flying bleep about this Kirk person. Apparently, he was a hate-spreading Nazi. I wasn't paying close enough attention to the idiotic right fringe to even know who he was. Yeah, I guess it doesn't do any good to actually read what this guy said. It's awful.
Well, it's a darkness, and I mean there is a real sickness here. I mean, because, and I know there haven't been many, and none that come to mind. Well, I mean, I know Jamel Hill said some stuff, and but who cares? She's an idiot.
And a racist. Yeah, she took that one down
about him, this being a white supremacist on white supremacist crime or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like there haven't been a deluge, of course, of elected Democrats or a lot of the more prominent figures in media, like celebrating it. And I want to be fair about that they're not. But that being said, there is this sort of muted reaction to it where they care a lot more about Jimmy Kimmel being suspended, to the point where like Jake Tapper on CNN drops everything he's doing and does a digital broadcast, like puts together a little video about Jimmy Kimmel getting suspended. And I'm not saying that's not a story, and it is part of the biggest story right now in America. But man, they seem way more distraught over this than anything else.
Well, and very little self-reflection.
Yeah.
Did we turn up the temperature in a way that we shouldn't have?
No.
Anything like that, you didn't hear it. You know, I mentioned J.D. Vance being on Water's show on Fox last night. He brought up the people celebrating the assassination. This is what Vance had to say.
Well, one way you wrap your head around it is disgusting evil. What kind of person looks at a grieving young mother, at two beautiful young kids, and feels a certain sense of celebration? And I actually think, I don't know if it's a couple people, I don't know if it's thousands of people, but I would ask you, if you were the kind of person who feels joy at the death of a grieving mother and grieving children, what bad decisions have led you to where you are today, and why don't you get back on the right path? I really believe that there are people who recognize that the joy that they're feeling, the celebration they're feeling at Charlie's death, is evidence of evil within them, and they have to extinguish that evil. I think that. And I've even seen some social media posts where people have said, you know, I was feeling kind of good about this guy dying, and now I realize that meant there was something wrong in me. That's another way I think that God is speaking to people through Charlie's death, is these incredibly evil people celebrating it. We're seeing it. We're seeing that evil in the public eye for all to see. But I also think people are turning away from that evil because they recognize that it is so opposite of everything good and true and righteous in the world.
Yeah. I think that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of different stories still. I saw Daily Wire, UPenn stands by top professor who shared post calling Charlie Kirk head of Trump's Hitler Youth. How do you share that?
Well, because you can. I mean,
Michael Mann. Yes, that's the name of the professor at UPenn. He said he overlooked the remark about Kirk being called the head of Trump's Hitler Youth.
What?
So you don't read it, you just repost it? Maybe you should get fired for that. Lack of attention to detail.
Hey,
I'm
look,
not buying it either.
We're all about equity for professors who can't read.
Yeah, he's a big climate guy, too.
Yeah. Oh,
okay. Yeah. By the way, speaking of J.D. Vance in that interview, Waters brought up, Jasmine Crockett. He brought up the Jasmine Crockett thing where when she was on with Charlemagne saying, hey, just because I say fascist or, Hitler wannabe doesn't mean I'm saying to go out and shoot him. That sort of thing. And asked if J.D. Vance had a response to that. Here you go.
Well, I'd ask Jasmine Crockett, what is it that you want people to do when you call them Nazis? What is it that you want them to do when you call them fascists? What is the proper response when you say that Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and Charlie Kirk are threatening your safety? What do you expect people to do? This rhetoric is completely out of control, and it's part of this entire network of violence that exists on the far left. You dehumanize your political opponents. You fund paid activists to go and harass them and terrorize them. We've had a White House senior staffer just in the past week who has had actual representatives of the Democratic Party going around passing leaflets trying to get his neighbors to harass him and showing people where he lives, where his wife lives, where his young family lives. If that's not political violence, if that's not political harassment, I don't know what the term means.
Dude. That's going on now still? After everything?
Yes. They're not going to stop.
No, they're not. Wow. One thing, a lot of people are talking about today, the Jimmy Kimmel stuff, that I love out of that story is that Sinclair, one of the largest broadcast companies in the United States, is going to air a special tribute to Charlie Kirk this Friday in the late night time slot that Jimmy Kimmel show is occupied.
Great. That's awesome.
It's just hilarious to me. And they, in their statement, said the special will also air across all Sinclair stations this weekend. In addition, Sinclair is offering the special to all ABC affiliates across the country. So you can take it if you want. That's going to make the left melt down, too. Mm-hmm. I mentioned earlier, you brought up something, I forget what you brought up with music. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I mentioned I saw this story about Led Zeppelin saying which band and kind of song ripped off Led Zeppelin the most. And, music sort of stuff like this, interesting.
Is it like which particular song or which?
Yes, particular song.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and we can play a few of these, like clips of different things. But they bring up Greta Van Fleet, Highway Tune.
Well, yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Right? And I always gave it sort of a pass. They were pretty young when they did that.
Oh, yeah.
They're teens. That was more like an homage sort of thing.
I wish they would keep doing that because what they're doing now is just kind of weird.
They have an audience.
They have a huge audience, so it's working for them.
I know. Bonham, Wait for You. You would have been 2 years old when that came out. I played that at Rock Radio. And, yeah, it was a total ripoff, but it was Bonham's kid.
Yeah, no kidding. I was like, so what? He is
4
Zeppelin's
years,
spawn.
4 years before you were born, there was Zebra, Who's Behind the Door. And if you're unfamiliar, I'll play you a clip in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, you could say that was a rip. But the part of it's the way the guy sings. He was a great singer. Randy Jackson. Aerosmith Legendary Child from 2012. I'm a big Aerosmith fan. I don't know that song.
Yeah,
because Music from Another Dimension I might have listened to once or twice and been like, it's all right. Yeah. Working Man from Rush. I'm like, okay, what, you couldn't be hard rock?
Not really. I don't see that. I mean, is Lonely is the Night on there?
It's number one.
Billy Squier? Yeah, that's a Zeppelin song.
Okay, the opening I get. Yeah. The rest of the song?
Well, it comes across as kind of very much an homage to Nobody's Fault But Mine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But as far as the rest of the song, yeah, maybe. Rock Candy from Montrose? I don't get it.
No, I don't hear that.
Barracuda from Heart?
What?
Yes, because it chugged along like Achilles' Last Stand. Like, oh, come on.
I don't know, man. You take a deep cut of Zeppelin and suddenly that's like,
I know,
you're on the list? No.
Audio Slave, Cochise. It had a riff and chords in it, so it's similar. What? Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Now, Kingdom Come, Get It On.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Still of the Night from Whitesnake.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get that. But as far as, like, the one that was the most egregious, I mean, probably up to the individual to decide. But yeah, that's still like that song a lot, though. Well, yeah, they had this. No, go back to number one. Yeah. See, that part to me is not like nobody's fault but mine. But that's just me. Yeah. Yeah, that's the bottom. Yeah, they hear that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Greta. Yeah, totally get that, yeah. Yeah, that's Who's Behind the Door. That's the Zebra. I love that song, man. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I thought, which one? Still of the Night by Whitesnake, right? That's what they put on there. I think Slow and Easy is more of a Zeppelin ripoff from Whitesnake.
Yeah, they would say it's the call and response, like Black Dog.
Gotcha.
Is Still of the Night. I'm already thinking about a Friday 5. We got to put something together. Mine's working overtime now. All right, we got to get to a news update, and Nimrod's in the news coming up.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What are you doing every day to support your liver? If you enjoy sweets, fast food, alcohol, or take any medications, that's a vital question to ask. Hi, I'm Sherry Torkis, pharmacist and health author. For over 30 years, I've helped people make informed decisions about their health, especially concerning prevention and long-term wellness. Supporting your liver isn't just a wellness trend, it's a daily essential. That's why I recommend Active Liver by New Nordic. It's made with plant-based ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and globe artichoke, herbs clinically studied for their protective and restorative effects on the liver. Active Liver blends traditional herbal wisdom with modern scientific research. Not all supplements are created equal. I trust Active Liver because it's backed by science, meets strict quality standards, and delivers true daily liver support.
Protect your liver and give it the support that it deserves by making Active Liver from New Nordic part of your daily wellness routine. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer grocery, or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins is out resting at home. I know Casey misses him, but he is here with his voice.
Football season is back on Prize Picks. Every day we make choices, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. So kick off the season right by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Just use the code MVCR on the Prize Picks app. With millions of users and billions of dollars awarded in winnings, Prize Picks is the best place to put your takes to the test. Plus, the app is really simple to use. You just pick 2 or more players across any sport, pick more or less on their projections, and if you're right, you could win big. With simple stats and user-friendly policies, Prize Picks is the most fan-friendly app to make your picks. All transactions on the app are fast, safe and secure. Don't miss any of the action this season on PrizePicks. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code MVCR, $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. That's code MVCR on PrizePicks, $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 in lineups just for playing, guaranteed. PrizePicks, it's good to be right.
You know, it's going to be not quite the same tomorrow, Friday 5. Robbins. Maybe in his honor, we could do, like, greatest soft rock hits of all time.
I mean, shut up, man.
Just kidding. News update, David Van Camp.
Keith Olbermann, you know, he's the bitter old man. He looks like his hair has been holding grudges against him since the 1980s.
You're on a roll today, man.
He is very upset about Sinclair airing a special for Charlie Kirk and also not wanting to preempt Jimmy Kimmel. He writes, "Burn in hell, Sinclair, alongside Charlie Kirk."
Wow.
You know,
what a darkness with that guy.
The thing is, you can express that darkness when you don't have a job to get fired from.
That is true. Yes. Is this Nimrod's? Oh, we still got to start.
When the going gets tough.
Damn it, this is too hard.
The dumb get dumber.
All right, Ian.
It's Nimrod's in the News on the Martley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
I love the poorly educated.
All right. Nimrod's in the News. Our friends in Louisville may already know this one. This dude, 55-year-old man, is facing charges. He was stopped by the cops for a different reason the other night. Said, yeah, I'm a CIA officer. See, here's all my credentials. No, he's not. And he had been in trouble for doing this before. And that's Nimrod's in the News.